Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and for those who are celebrating, Merry Christmas. If not, Happy Holidays, or I hope you guys are having today off. It has been pretty quiet here. We did most of our festivities yesterday, so today I'm just going to be around the house cataloging my books. My series project is definitely taking a lot longer than I thought I would, so but I'm still hoping to get up my the series I'm going to read this next year, but when my wrap up I might have more of a detail of how many series I'm actually in, and that number is staggering. Anyway, so I don't as I said, we're going to be pretty quiet here. We did everything on Christmas Eve, so it's going to be a quiet day. I'm just going to make some chili and some cookies and some other things to share with my brother, and then that's kind of it. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend and a holiday with your family if that is what you're doing, or if not, just having a great day. So I'm just going to do my weekly update just to keep on track. As I said, it's more just because I have a lineup of videos and I don't want to lose what I've, like this stuff I've read. I don't want that to get lost in the mix. So I'm just going to keep it on this Sunday, and when I do my normal weekly reading updates, and just put that up, and then I will continue on this week with videos every day for stuff I want to read in 2023, which of course is a lot. And even going through my books has been, I've been doing my purge, which is great. I've gotten rid of a few more books, series, old things that I'm not going to get returned to, or I don't want to read anymore. But I'm also finding a lot of books that I've bought and then I put on my shelf and then I forgot. So I am discovering things that I do want to put on my list. So I'm still gathering those. So I'm hoping to get through the major part of it today, and then we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so let's talk about the books I read this last week, what I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the last week of 2022. So I only had one DNF, and it's very sad to me. Is Swashbucklers by Dan Hanks. I got 70 pages in, and I really wanted to like this book, and I think there is an audience for this. I just think that right now was not the audience for, I'm just not the one for it. I think it's really funny I think it would be really funny for people who have kids who, grew up in the 80s and would get all the references in here, and also enjoyed like Stephen King's It, and maybe, is it Summer of Night? No. Yeah, Summer of Night by Dan Simmons, and what was, I haven't read Boy's Life, so I'm not quite sure how that would relate. But it has a lot of those things where it's the adults who are, had gone through this adventure when they were kids, and it was explained as a gas leak when it wasn't, and only one of the kids remembers, and so as he grows up, he's the only one who remembers what happened and who they fought, and the dead man's grin, who is a ghostly pirate of some sort. And then now it's like 30 years later, they're adults and they have kids, and one of them, the one that remembers, moves back, and it kind of starts off because he starts hearing rumors of things that are happening that remind him of what happened when he was a kid, and he's the only one who remembers. And I think there's so many good touches in here. The problem is I was just kind of a little bored, even though it was really fast paced. I don't know how to explain that, but I just didn't want to pick it up. Maybe I didn't relate to them because all the characters had kids, and to me, I don't have kids. Anyway, so the point is that I like that aspect that there were parents with the kids, because it's an older cast of, having to deal with monster, or, some kind of monsterish kind of thing going on. I think this is really good. I think other people will really like it. I think it just didn't hit for me, and it could just be that I was bored in the first couple chapters because nothing really happened, and then when things started happening, it was happening too fast, and I don't know, and then I didn't want to pick it up, and even though there was good action. So I'm not sure what my problem was with this. I don't know if it's one I should hold off and try to read again, like maybe next Christmas, and just see if it was just my mood this year. There was so many good things about it. It just didn't click for me. And I had to set it down and DNF it, because that was putting me off from reading other things. So I just pretty much stopped from going into like a reading slump or something. So I just didn't want to do that. I still think there's definitely people who are going to like this. There's even a talking fox, which I didn't get to figure out why that was happening. There were so many things to this that I think I would have liked. So I kind of think I'm going to hold on to this book for at least another year, and maybe sometime maybe not at Christmas time, maybe because takes place at Christmas. When they were kids took place at Halloween, but the part, and again, we don't see too many flashes of that, at least not, we hadn't so far, but it's mostly about the Christmas time when it all starts. So it's definitely, at Christmas, I mean, the big action scene had it was Christmas involved. So I mean, it didn't work for me. So maybe I'll try to read this at another time of the year or something. I'm going to give this one more shot. I just feel like right now it didn't work for me. And again, it was going to put me into I didn't want to pick it up. And it wasn't bad. It's just, I don't think it was clicking for me. So unfortunately, that one was a miss for me. And it kind of upsets me because I really liked the idea of that. And because I like those other books. So anyway. I did want to just mention quickly that I did finish Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I had finished the main story, but then I read all the extra material in the back and the extra short story. That is very important to stuff that's probably going to happen later in the series. So I'm glad I continued, that it's there and I read it. Again, I just love Harrow the Ninth, and so I'm not going to explain too much about this because again, I finished it last week, so I talked about it then, but I did really love that. But I just wanted to point out I did finish that. I also went back to Legends and Lattes by Travis Bulger and read in this the new traditionally published book. I read the short story in the back that I hadn't read before, which is Pages to Fill, and it's a prequel to Legends and Lattes about Viv, and it was really cute. It was really short, and it was just something fun. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just fun. So I think it was I don't know, like 30 pages, maybe. No, well, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's about 35 pages. So I just wanted to finish it out. I didn't mark it anywhere else that I finished it, except that I finished it. So I just wanted to put that out there. And again, this is a very cozy fantasy that I highly recommend. That is like like high fantasy, low stakes. So, and Viv was a mercenary, and she decides she wants to get out of the life. So she decides to open a coffee shop in this town. And it's her creating the coffee shop and the people that she meets. And I just really enjoyed this fantasy, but I wanted to get the little short story done in the back because that was something new. So I just finished that off. I did read one of my library book by Madeline Miller, Galatea. I think that's how you say that word. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is just a short story. It's like 55 pages, and it's talking about it's based off the myth of oh my God, paleo. I don't know how you say that. Gigamleon? I don't know how you say that. What's his name right there? Anyway, and where the statue comes to life. And anyway, this was really, it was really a fast read, but it was also very gripping and hard to read in some places of what happened between him and the woman that he took as wife that had been a statue. So, and then their kid. And I was surprised at the way it went. And but it was really short. I really enjoyed it. Again, she's a great writer. I have not read Circe yet. I've only read Song of Achilles. I have Circe to try to get to, hopefully in the next year. I just haven't got around to it. I have it on audio somewhere. So anyway, so that was a cute little short thing I had from the library that I want to try. I then reread The Blacksmith Queen by G.A. Aiken. This is the first book in the Scarred Earth saga. So I read these in 2020. This one came out in 2019. G.A. Aiken is the pen name for Shelley Lawrenston. So as you know, I've read many of her books this year. But this is her other her pseudonym. So again, I love these. I read these a couple of years ago. This and the second one. But then I had to wait 2 years from that for the third one to come out. So the third one is coming out this week on Tuesday. So I should get it sometime in the mail. Hopefully this week. It just matters on how with the weather, how we get things. But hopefully I'll get it before the end of the year. My goal is to get through the whole series by the end of the year. To have another finished series. But this is a fantasy series where we're following Keely, who is told that her sister Beatrice is prophesized to be the next queen of this area. And she, of course, is like, that just seems wrong. But she goes along with the people who come to take her to these witches who are supposed to, you know, say if that for sure if she is the one prophesized. And it's kind of all this action stuff happens. This is definitely like Shelley Lauriston. It's funny, it's action packed, hilarious, just over the top, but with fantasy elements. And I just love it. It's so funny because again, the Keely is a blacksmith. She comes from a long line of female blacksmiths, and so that is her love. And she carries a huge hammer, and that's her weapon for when people attack them. And I really I enjoyed this series. As I said, it was great visiting it because I didn't remember everything. It's been 2 years, but I remember adoring it, and I loved it again on the reread. So again, as I said, I'm going to continue with that because I'm hoping to get because the third book is supposed to come out this week. So I really like that. And then I finished Storm of Echoes. No, Storm. I'm getting all my books mixed up. Oh. I read some other books. Sorry, I have to think about this in a minute. How am I going to do that? Okay, well, hold on a second. So let's talk about this, and I'll come back to a book at least one book that I forgot. I had to go check my list. I think I've forgotten a couple books. So Storm of Locusts by Rebecca Roanhorse. So I really enjoy Trail of Lightning that I read last week. So I decided to go ahead and finish what we had of the Sixth World series. Sixth World series. So this is post-apocalyptic urban fantasy kind of thing, with a lot of Native American aspects to it, talking about when the world is decimated by big water, where some earthquakes wrecked or tore apart the U.S. and there's only certain lands now that are above water. And the area that Maggie, who our protagonist is in, is kind of south west. I think so. Yeah, about that. The U.S. And so and there's gods and there are monsters and things like that. And so the first one was really good. It ended really weird, and I wasn't sure what it all meant. And then, so I wanted to pick this up soon to go, okay, can she explain? Because I didn't quite get the end on part of it. And it did kind of explain it, but it still was like, well, that was weird. I'm glad I didn't read it and then go, where's the next book? And I don't understand. So anyway, this one was this was more of a road trip story. I did on a rescue mission of some of the characters. And I did like this. It went in some really weird ways, and again, there was really cool action scenes and some other stuff. So it was just a fun ride. And again, I got mine. I got this used copy that was at Powell's that had been autographed when she was there in November or early December. Oh, I think was I there in November? Whenever I went last. So it's not the greatest copy, but it is signed by her. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, I found this on the shelf. So, but she signed even the used copies, and that was pretty cool. Anyway, so there's no more. I don't know if this is only going to be a duology. The last chapter opens it up to there's supposed to be. It feels like it's going to be something epic is coming, but it also ends well with the main characters. So, like, I'm okay if she doesn't return to this. It's kind of sad if she doesn't. I did really enjoy this one. I'm glad I finally picked up this series and at least got these done. I just think they're fun, slightly different urban fantasies than some of the other ones I've read, so that's really cool, and I did like it overall, so I'm glad I got through that. So let me hold on. We'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that whole stop, but I did reread another book, and I just was like, I swear I think that's why I got why he got me confused with Storm of Locust is because I did reread Storm Echo by Nalini Singh. This is book 21 in the Side Changeling series, or book 6 in the Side Trinity series. So this, of course, our Side Changeling trilogy, Trinity series. So again, this is one of my favorite books this year so far. I just decided I got it on audio at some point, and I decided to listen to it. I was on Monday, it just felt like the thing to do. So I listened to this all day. That's all I did reading wise at work and at home. I just, again, I just revisited this urban fantasy. And again, this is a great book. Don't start here. And again, this is a world with shifters and people with psychic abilities and humans all vying for power. Again, it's a 21 book series at this point. I just adore it. And again, I reread the whole series this year before this book came out in August. And I read it in August, I think. And then usually I pick up it again sometime later in the year or early next year. The paperback doesn't come out till February. And when I figured that out, I'm going, I don't want to wait till February to reread it. So again, I said I had gotten the audio as well because I had the ebook. So I got the audio and listened to that, and it is performed by Angela Daw, who does this whole series. Very well done. I really enjoyed it. So again, that was another reread. As I said, this end of the year has kind of been a very mix of rereads and new reads, kind of back and forth. It's just kind of the way it's going. Because the only book I'm in the middle of right this moment is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm listening to this on audio. Actually, I thought he narrates it, but now I'm not positive. So, well, I'll talk more about it when I finish it. But as I said, I'm almost halfway. I read this a couple years ago and really enjoyed it. I thought this year I wrote down on my notes that I wanted to read it either at the end of December or early January, because just to kind of restart for the year. I think this is exactly what it says, talking about tiny changes that have remarkable results, talking about just the way of thinking about things in small chunks and not trying to change everything at once. It's very much a progression, trying to do little things that'll get you to your goal, but that aren't as hard, or they don't feel as I don't know how you want to say it. Like, they don't make it seem like you're doing everything all at once. It's definitely going in steps. So anyway, as I said, I'm really enjoying listening to it on audio as a reread. So I am doing that. So other than that, though, I didn't read anything on Christmas Eve due to family things. Because at first we weren't sure my parents were coming up, because weather-wise we had a winter storm here in Oregon. Well, they have it everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, so everybody be safe with the travel. I know it's been kind of hectic. But we weren't sure they were going to come up or not until about 11 o'clock. And then I had to clean the house because, of course, I didn't do it because I thought they weren't coming. So I thought, oh, I'll wait until they were going to come on Monday. And I'm like, well, I'll just do it Monday morning. No, they decided to come. So I had to spend that time racing around and cleaning. So I did that. And then, and of course, that morning I'd spent all the time working in here, figuring out all my series. And so, I mean, I'm progressing. I'm almost done with this side of the room. I got 2 over here and a lot of stuff in other rooms. Anyway, progress. But anyway, so I didn't read anything at all yesterday. So that was, I think, is one of the first days. Like, there's only a few days this year that I did not read, other than when I was sick back in February. So, I just had no time. And when I got home from my aunt's house last night, no, didn't want to read. So anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to read. So I guess that's my long way of saying I don't know what I want to read. So I have a couple options. My number one option is to pick up Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, the 3rd book in the Locked Tomb series. So I really do want to read this. My goal was to be reading this on Christmas, but I don't know if I feel like this today. So we'll see. But I'm hoping to still pick it up by the end of the week or be reading this over the New Year's. I haven't decided yet. If I can get into it today, then that's great. This is the book I'll be reading. So this is the 3rd book. I have no idea where the story is going in this. Gideon the Ninth, which is there, and again, I just showed you Harrow the Ninth a little earlier. It's following these women who just the first book, let me talk about the first book is that all the houses of this certain you know, I don't know, kingdom or whatever, you know, in space, this solar system kind of thing, are asked to send one of their neuromancers, and they are trying to become a lictor for the emperor. And they go to this one planet where it's just not the best place to be, and it's kind of like a locked room murder mystery in space, or, you know, with a space setting, and neuromancy and a lot of stuff going on. It was just hilarious, fun, really bizarre, and not everybody's gonna like that. So, and then the second book goes on from there in a whole nother direction and done in such a different way. I had no idea why she did it that way, but it was so interesting, and I liked the way, and the twist, well, not the twist, but it was, I knew what was coming, I guessed it, but it was also really well done that I didn't mind that. But the story is still, there's so much to go, and I'm so confused. I want to know what happens next. I don't know how this book relates at all, because it was supposed to be only 3 books, and Alecto the 9th is coming out hopefully in October, last I heard. Oh, darn it. I'm shopping books. Oh, well, darn it. Hold on, guys. Today's not my day for filming, so let's get this done. So anyway, I don't know what this book, how this relates to the other books, when I know that the last book is coming out. It was supposed to be a trilogy, but now again, Nona's showed up, so I don't know what this is about. Because of the way things happened in the end of the other book, there's so many places it could go, but I don't know where this is going to go, so I have no idea what this book is about. So I really would like to pick that up. And again, that might be the book that I pick up today. I could also pick up my reread of The Princess Knight by G.A. Aiken. This is book 2 in the Scarred Earth saga. So again, book 3, The Heretic Royal, is coming out this week. So I do want to get my reread done before I get that new book. But I don't have a shipping notification yet on that. I think last it was going to be Thursday, but we'll see what happens. Point is that, great fantasy. I just want to reread this. And this one's the longest of all of them. The first book isn't as long as this book, but, I do want to get to this. I don't remember a lot that happened in this one. I remember because it's been 2 years since I read it, both books. I don't remember everything that happens in here, so it'll be fun to get back to them. And this is following the sister of Keely, who was in the first book. So this is, what's her name? Gemma. And she's outrageous too. So it's just, again, funny, completely unrealistic, hilarious, but it's fantasy for her. And I like them. I also might pick up 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater. I've been trying to get back to the Regency Fairy Tales series. Things keep getting in front of it, so I might pick this up today. I don't know. Nona is just calling to me, but this could happen this week if something happens and I have time. If not, this might be one of my first reads in the new year. We'll see how that goes. And then if for some reason I just want to reread, and I'm getting to that point on a lot of things, I might return to Working for the Devil by Lilith St. Croix, which is the Dante Valentine series. Again, I read the first 2 books many years ago, and I got new copies to get out of the bind-up that I had. So I wanted to reread the first 2 so that I can continue and finish the 5-book series, but I haven't finished this book. And this is the last of the books that I started this year that was a reread. I mean, other than, you know, I'm in the middle of this and I'm going to finish this. And then this one I'm going to start and finish. But I mean, this is the only one I've started this year that I haven't finished yet. And I'm not counting 2 Green Angel Tower because I read part 1, but that finished one of the books, but I have to finish that. So that doesn't count. But this is the only one I would like to finish. I don't need to. This is just if I want to. If not, this will be on my January TBR. So you'll probably know fairly soon if I make it to this, but it's probably going to be on January, but we'll see. So that is everything. Sorry, the video is kind of a little choppier than normal, but again, it's Christmas and I just want to get this done and out. And then, as I said, I will have videos for the rest of the week. I have my 6 nonfiction I want to read, 6 classics I want to read. I will have my 23 books I want to read in 2023. I will have my series about series video. saying which series I'm going to focus on in the next year. And I will have my TBR and then my book haul. And then in the new year, I will start with all this stuff of wrapping up everything with stats and other, and then how I did with my series. And I will give you stats on where I stand with series I'm in the, I have the first books to, or that I'm in the middle of, or that I DNF'd, or the ones that I finished. I want to kind of have all those numbers together by then. Hopefully by then I'll be done with my project. I'm getting there. It's just not there yet. So anyway, so I think that's it. Oh, I think I'm going to do these books will self-destruct video as well in January. So there's a lot to look forward to. I hope this again is one of my favorite times of the year for watching other people's videos on their goals and on the books that they want to read, and you know, all the stuff. And then again, hearing about people's best and worst and everything. So I will have my best and worst out as well in a video after the new year, because I'm one of those people who has to wait to the very last day, because sometimes that could be a really good book or it could be a really bad book, and I want to make sure it's on the, you know, if it makes that list, it's there. So we're almost done with the board for this year, so I'm just gonna do today's really quick. So unfortunately I had another DNF and I'm gonna put down for Storm of Locusts, I'm going to say I finished that series, because there are only 2 books out and there's no plans for more at this point. So I'm going to say it's a finish. And I did 2 rereads. Oh gosh, look at all my rereads. I'm just, you know, it's been a rereading year. I got to say, I don't know if next year will be as high of rereads, because again, I don't think I'm going to be rereading the Side Changing series and the Guild Hunter series this next year. I might take a year, you know, I might read a few of them, but I don't think I'm going to do the whole series again for a while. But Kat, oh my gosh, she has to go at that. Anyway, and then I finished, no, I already put Harrow for last week. So anyway, I think that's it. Yes, a historical fiction. I did have a historical fiction with that Galatea. Anyway, so that's my board. I mean, as I said, I've read a lot this year. I don't know if I mentioned that November I actually had read 30 books in 30 days without meaning to. Again, a lot of that was because I was rereading, but anyway, so I think that's it. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye.